Всем привет, ребятушки, девчонки, сегодня мы будем смотреть, как играют наши любимые команды. Нави против Комплищи, против G2. Это турнир! Первая карта у нас оверпас, кто пропустил.
It is the second day here at Blast Premiere, and the teams are ready, I've been told. It's going to be an interesting game that's coming up, obviously, with Navi and Complexity. Best of one, so, you know, a lot on the line. I don't know, everyone went for Navi. Is there any reason to think that might not happen?
I mean, look, there's always an outside chance, but I'm not even going to try and bump it up. No, I think the big thing with Complexity is just with Halzer coming in now, we obviously kind of knew some of the struggles from watching Junior within the roster for some time. Can this new offer actually provide some things that maybe free up some of the other players? Because remember, like, you know, Grim going over to Liquid felt like he had real potential, and kind of when he's gone back to Complexity, it's kind of dropped off and it's disappeared a little bit. Same with Fang, was kind of an upcoming player we talked about with potential out of North America. We haven't seen that in this Complexity roster, so you're hoping that Halzer can provide some things that reactivate the other individuals.
They certainly need him for this one, and I think this is one of the times certainly where the best of one format is going to be favouring Complexity. If anything, if you want to have an upset, it's better to do it really fast and quick and then just leave Navi in the dust. It's going to be very tricky, especially maybe on overpass. It'll be Navi starting on the CT side with Complexity on the T side. JT, he's going to have a fair few people out there. Glock versus USB at range. Could be tricky. Retreating from that fight, actually gets caught nearly. Lucky to be alive, they're still hunting him, and they will be successful in that hunt as well. Really taking down Bit now. There's a bit of a flank coming in. Electronic hoping for that quick headshot eventually clear JT, and that's something to maybe consider. They're still going to be planting the bomb right away in this 4-4.
Yeah, but is it an advantage? Look at the way they're boxed in. Two players coming up highway, especially with that kill. Complexity has to get aggressive here. They have to win these fights towards CT spawn, and Perfecto knows it. He's going to sink back, and the retake is coming in.
A little bit of pressure. He's not sure if anyone's behind him, but what a great headshot to take down Electronic. Just like that, they have the man advantage. Perfecto on head trick. I'm not sure if this is going to be an easy retake, although with headshots like that, maybe they're going to be just fine. Still have some time. Smoke has been picked up. Still not seeing a kit anywhere, so it's going to be the full 10-second defuse, which is a long time. They had to go for it. A head trick, he had to get that fight, or they weren't going to be able to do it. It's going to be down to the wire anyway. He did get the triple. Oh man, that is so close. What a way to start. Navi will pick up the pistol.
Yeah, you got to say though too, a rough sequence there for Grim in the 2v2. I think that's a team flash that comes out from him from Bank that actually blinds up Fang at the truck, so he couldn't take any kind of a fight. So miscue there, and they lose the pistol round. Otherwise, it was looking pretty decent for Complexity, finding themselves some good frags to get out of a sticky situation. Fang had a nice kill, all before the flashbang comes in. Nice flank from Navi to really activate this pistol round. Head trick with a nice headshot onto Grim.
It looked like he placed his crosshair at headline, except it's on the stairwell, so it's kind of hard to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Normally you try and use boxes or whatever else to sort of, you know, remind yourself where that is, but...
Get your bearings.
Yeah, well done.
Second round by for Complexity with the bomb plant. AK-47s on the board for Grim and Fang. Galil's on JT and Floppy with the miss in his nades. They got none.
Position for Electronic. How do you even read it? I feel like JT might have even been able to see the feet there, but it's such an unusual position. You know, not even your brain is not registering that could be somebody's shoes, you know, on the railing.
Yeah, really hard position to clear out. Bit just biding his time at the staircase. He's going to start getting wrapped upon, so he's got nowhere to go. He's kind of in this position until an opportunity presents itself, either one for escape or one for a fight. See if Fang and Halzer have any interest in trying to clear out stairs from up top. Grim's going to give it up now.
Being allowed to hang out over here is it's such a great position to be in, especially with Sandayang right next to him. They're covering the entire central part of the map. Setting up outside of the B-bomb site. It's
just going to be contact play, right? There's no nades, remember. So they're going to be walking out towards the B-bomb site, walking through Monster and challenging up against Perfecto. 1-for-1 trade. There's a couple of SMGs on the board. Excuse me, one SMG, one FAMAS. Now STY has that. His position is given up, but the Molotov is going to change the route. Good shot from Grim, and head tricks there for the rebuttal. 22 seconds on the clock.
That bomb drop back there is a big issue. Grim's already low on health. Also, is in a lot of trouble, but they managed to win both the fights. That's crazy. I would have assumed that at least they would have been forced to actually try and plant the bomb, but the fights happened before any bomb planter is coming through, and that's going to be a huge turnaround.
There's that SMG coming to hot bit right at the end. He was waiting patiently throughout the entire round for his opportunity. That's an important kill for Grim, but he had the jump on the player. He had the jump on, I believe, was that at the end, Halzer with the Galil, and still not able to pull it out. So good clutch from Complexity. It's Navi's turn to go back and force buy down to pistols and a scout on head trick.
I am seeing 3 5.7s. That's rare.
Yeah, changing seasons. Is it 5.7 is in style?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good pistol all throughout. Just maybe outdone by some of the other ones. There's a couple of dinks there. Floppy down on the ground.
That's a nice sequence. Doors opened, M4 going to work. Good find from Bit for the equalizing kill. I think they can still protect that weapon. I think the weapon had fallen forward, so now they can have eyes on it at the very least.
It's tempting for the Navi side to try and go and pick it up, so yeah, it's right there. Maybe a bad idea to give it up, although, yeah.
Maybe a bad idea to throw a flashbang.
I was going to say, why does that always happen? As soon as you pull out the nades.
It's just one of those unexplainable factors of Counter-Strike. Hetrick's got the information. He's spotted one. Nobody's moved yet from Navi to start rotating over. Just now that shift is starting to happen, but Complexity is already using utility and knocking down the front door. Bomb site lost, and Navi's going to have a decision to make.
Hetrick certainly did not want to stick around for any kind of scout heroics. Trying to close a little bit of time, and they do have armor on 3 people, so maybe they just say that's it. It's not worth it. Get the Galil instead. Try and fight in the next round. I can appreciate that. Probably nothing would have come of it if you would have stuck around to defend the bomb side.
Yeah, and also obviously they're not going to buy in the next round if they're to get wiped out here. So just keep the weapons in hand, and you basically have another dangerous save round, especially because you can drop that 5.7 over to Bit, and you have a Galil in the hands of Electronic. So 2-1, Complexity with an early lead.
How are you feeling about Overpass these days? What's your? There's been some map discussion coming up recently. I feel like Mirage is always in the community crosshairs, so to speak.
Mirage gets a lot of unnecessary hate. I feel I really enjoy Mirage as a map. I don't know. Overpass is in a weird place because it used to occupy that space where it was like one of the more tactical maps that we have.
Yeah.
And now it feels kind of I don't know. I just don't have the same sense about it anymore.
Yeah, I can't explain it either, but there is something about it that it's not putting it in a great place.
It's been losing a lot of favor among teams, even since when I was coaching 2 years ago. It was starting to, or a year and a half ago, it was starting to kind of just talking to other people within the scene, other players and coaches. It was a map that no one was really all that much enjoying to play.
So maybe a candidate for replacement. I think the little info we had is that it's been in every major since its release. So it's never been one of the ones that's been cycled out.
So is Mirage.
True. Got some candidates. Trained still out. There's somebody they've been reworking Tuscan, I guess, finally.
Yeah, they added it this time to the rotation.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I'm interested to see how that's going to play out. I always like Cash better than Tuscan, but I mean, I'm not going to quibble.
Yeah.
Basically, or not Cash. Why do I keep saying Cash? Mill. I always like Mill
right.
than Tuscan.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, we can. So there might be some actual map rotations happening in the future if the community seems to be enjoying it and it plays competitively.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
Well, technical pause coming up here, so nothing too bad.
It looks like they got something fixed because they're still having their chat and everything like that. This man on the screen is massively important. I think, as obviously as we all know, but I've grown to just like really. The more I hear Blade talk in interviews and give interviews, the more I just kind of really appreciate the way he talks and thinks about the game. Swapping out some notes here. Can't talk, but you can read.
I like even the pre-game interview that he was giving, sort of some real honest and transparency with regards to like difficulty of someone like Patrick coming in who might be like a talent, but the system that they're playing in at a high level, it's very, very hard to just slot into that and expect to not have any issues. So.
Well, also in trying to take a little bit of pressure off the stand-in, who it's one thing to stand in for a team, it's another thing to stand in for a team in place of the best player in the world. So I mean, I think it's easy probably for Hetrick to come in and probably put a lot of pressure on his shoulders to kind of deliver in a similar fashion. I think not just publicly, but I would imagine privately as well. Blade's just like, look, don't be simple. Don't try and be simple. Do your own thing. And don't feel the pressure whatsoever. Easy thing to say, not exactly an easy thing to always accomplish. Smiles. He's happy.
That's good. I mean, they've come up with something good at the beginning, so they should be.
I'm actually super excited to watch Hulzerk within this team, especially throughout this week, because I know, even when he was added to the old Dignitas roster with all the Swedish legends, I feel like we didn't get a chance to see Dignitas really competing at the high.
Так, а почему
I'm sure we'll
без
see some of
лука?
that down the road. Maybe he's especially happy not to be fighting simple today, but but maybe having an opponent that he can actually have a little bit more success against. See, everyone still kind of seems like they're tuned in and ready, so hopefully we can get back into the swing of things. Yeah, there we go. Well, not too long. But I want to see Complexity to keep the momentum now that they've managed to turn around even losing their pistol. So just keep it going. Don't let Navi in too early.
I wonder, I'm really curious, one of the things about Navi that, I mean, obviously, it's kind of a cool glimpse having Simple out of this team just for this, at least for this event. Just seeing, you know, structurally in terms of the system, how important he is for everyone else's success as well. I'm kind of curious to see who's going to step up in his place, because there's obviously a lot of options with Electronic and Perfecto and Head Trick, or excuse me, not Electronic, Perfecto, and Bit as that kind of consistent core. Like one of those three guys you would expect to be the one to step up.
Without a doubt, yeah, they still have a lot of firepower and confidence on that side, but I guess we'll find out. A little bit of a trade, Electronic on the Galil, able to take down Floppy. That's a good wallbang from JT. He's able to drop Electronic right away, but the scout has shown up. And look at, again, the 5-7s are doing so much damage, and they actually managed to defend the bomb site. Still a minute on the clock, but this is a problem for Complexity. How do they recover this round?
Yeah, a huge, huge problem. And they're going to rotate back around. Fang going all the way to long. So Halzer's going to come join up with them. They've got one player to deal with. That's going to be the stand-in. That's going to be Head Trick rotating up the stairs with the scout. Is he going to commit himself to this bomb site? Because Fang's going to be the one to lead the way out long and start probing into the site. There's the smokes going down. So a 2-on-3, likely post-plant situation. Halzer can hear the footsteps, but they're taking a lot of time, Complexity, getting comfortable with this bomb site.
Once again, Trick doesn't really need to fight this too much. He just has to live, but they're going to try and hunt him down. That's a nice move from Fang. He keeps going, maybe a bit too far. With the bomb down in a 2-on-2, would have been great for him to stay alive. Holzerg now on his own. He's going to take care of Sundar Young, but Perfecto's still out there, and he's got a massive health advantage with that AK on the other side. And Perfecto will win the 1 versus 1 and get Navi back online with just what? A Galil and a scout and some pistols.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think that's Fang just getting that first kill is huge. That's a very, very smart, aggressive play, but then not reining yourself in. Don't go for that second kill. Just back off, play it safe and bank. Play the 2v2 with your teammate. Put Halzerk in a really tough spot, but this is just a good setup. First, the initial double peek from Navi on the first player towards sandbags, and then obviously that player, they lost track of him at toxic barrels because he's not peeking off contact. He's hard baiting his teammate to get that 1 extra kill.
And even losing the battle at the beginning down at the B-bomb site, they lost some of the rifles that then came back to haunt them, both the AKs up there. So they had enough time now to go and pick those up and come back to the A-bomb site. A little bit of an issue as well. All on Head Trick and also one on Holzerg. So we could see a little bit of a fight. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out if they actually find each other. It's a giant map overpass, which I think is one of the reasons why some players have started to take a dislike to it. It's just that it is so huge. So maybe they won't, but I was like a little bit of an awkward Zork fight.
Yeah, we always enjoy that.
Yeah, get a feel for you know who's having the quicker reactions on any given day.
Molotov to force JT out, but no one is pushing towards sandbags to punish it. Even the flashbang makes JT feel real nervous. Fires off some shots to keep the aggression at bay. They walk into this. Good shot from Head Trick. Floppy's going to try and try it. That's a great angle. Double kill for Head Trick with the AWP and 5-on-3 for Navi.
Hard angle to clear as well, because if they try to flash him too deep, he's got a teammate that's really close and probably immune to a flashbang that'll hit him, so a lot to work with. And again, they're playing very passively on this A-bomb side. Once they have the advantage, they don't really want to fight.
In that follow-up second angle from Head Trick, it's so hard to trade. It's such a slight gap that you're kind of just, it's an easy aim for the Opera to kind of line up the second frag. Grim going to start pressuring the site. Desperate situation. 3-on-5. They need to find these kills. 1 at bank, 2 over the truck. There's the first, but way too many crossfires to deal with. And a picture-perfect Navi defense gets them 3.
They seem really confident, Navi, once they have a little bit of a read in just staying real far back on the A-bomb site. They just don't even care. Yeah, that one... Yeah. It's not going to be a fight that favors the AK on the other side.
I think there's like a certain level of philosophy in it too when you're playing a team like Complexity that's kind of struggled and hasn't shown a whole lot of success if you're Navi. Like, you don't have to really, you know, don't overcomplicate things if you're Navi. You don't have to kind of do any kind of crazy moves or rotations. Let's see if they can just beat you standard Counter-Strike. You know, make them, force them into the one who has to make the decision and make the aggressive plays.
They certainly have the confidence. For good reason. Bit there with the AK, chewing them all up. It's a nice quad kill. Almost on the ground. He's looking for the ace. We almost had one yesterday. Floppy's going to steal that one away from Bit. So
Вот один остается, один
still,
стрит.
so far so good. Great round. Hetrick, by the way, is 8-2 at the moment, so he's having himself a nice start to this game. And I mean, you're right. Like if you just play better Counter-Strike in terms of who has the aim and everything, maybe that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think the name of the game for Navi is just mistake-free Counter-Strike. Like, not only are you playing a team that you're massive favorites against, but also with the new stand-in as well. Again, keep things as simplified as possible. You still kind of have a situation where SDY is coming in and still probably not as comfortable as you'd like. So, it's going to be fun watching them throughout this group. But certainly here in this inaugural match with this lineup, yeah, just chill. Bit with aggression. Spotted one, but didn't like the fight that he was offered. Backs away.
Difficult fight to recommit to. You're really all in up along like that. You can't easily escape, so probably don't want to get stuck out there. Probably taking an advanced angle here at the Elbend really early on. I like that. I think that's a fun trick. Sometimes you can get there way before the CTs even realize, and they can actually back off into you without even realizing.
We've seen this is, I think, the second time early on in this game, just in round number 7, that we've seen Floppy kind of go for this aggressive play over towards sandbags to peek into the B bomb site. And last time he got picked off by a 5-7 and a nade combination. This time he sees absolutely nothing, but obviously somewhere he wants to emphasize. Navi's happy to just sit and wait. Decent amount of utility still left in the coffers. Hetrick with full set of nades. B bomb site is the finishing act for complexity.
Yeah, for sure. Floppy's been waiting at this corner the whole round. Very, very patient. See if he's going to get the reward that he really wants here. Electronic takes a lot of damage, but he's still alive, and Perfecto in the meantime. Headshot coming through this time. Floppy didn't get what he wanted there. Now down to 28 seconds, and Electronic is feeling the pressure from all sides. Nice run and gun from Grim, and he's going to find a second headshot to bring down SDY. That's absolutely massive. Smoke to block off the AWP at the sniper spot, and back into a 2-on-2 with 15 seconds. They need this bomb plant right now, and it's been interrupted already once. Coming through with a kill, and Hetrick on the other side, pushing through the smoke and able to get around. That is, I think that's a pretty decent execute coming out, all things considered, from complexity, but they needed a bit more space at the end.
Well, the big problem too is Perfecto just has a great double kill over at the pillar to start that out. And again, I mean, just buying time for rotations, allowing a flank to come in over down the stairs towards sandbags. He does a great job, and he was pretty much the only player there kind of actually fighting. Everyone else from Navi supporting with utility, and complexity not able to trade that kill for some time was brutal. 3-round lead now for Navi. You feel it? You feel it's slipping away? You feel this? Is this the?
It's unfortunately it is. You are getting that sense on you that
it's a bit early to get that sense. I mean, it is only 7 rounds in.
Yeah, it's true, but I think the problem is the moment of excitement happens when they win the follow round. Like they lose the pistol, but then they pick it up, and you're like, oh, okay, here we go. There's something to work with. But now it just feels like Navi shrugging it off, saying, oh, yeah, whatever. We're right back into it. They don't seem like they're really phased at all.
Yeah, and here's a round where they choose to have some aggression when they know they're up against the pistols, peeking deep through Monster. Nice little pick from Hetrick as well with his AWP. 10 kills now for the stand-in offer. And it's nice and clinical.
What a rare thing to be tested on the battlefield with Navi like this with your Hetrick. Even if it turns out it's just for like 1 week or something like that, that's a rare thing to be thrown into. On your resume.
Yeah, certainly. I'm looking at it from the other angle as well, where I don't think we're going to take too much out of this complexity game necessarily, but I mean, if you look forward to some matches that Navi will have against G2, against Liquid as well, if you start seeing a world where this Navi team has this core and this structure provided by Blade to bring in stand-ins with no, like, think about the fact that, they lose their in-game leader, Electronic steps into the in-game leader role, they win their first event. SDY comes in as a stand-in, they win their first event, they get second at Cologne. Now they'd still be deadly after the break here in Blast, even with another stand-in of Hetrick, and then all of a sudden, you gotta lay a lot of credit at the feet of Blade to be able to just have so many moving pieces while maintaining competitiveness. Very, very difficult thing to do.
And from the academy side too, like obviously some of the philosophy could trickle down into the academy teams, but also if you can sometimes pluck one player out and be like, hey, come play with us for like a week and then go back to the academy, but now you have crazy experience. Like it's a crazy luxury.
And also when you consider as a coach, I apologize, I'm a little bit of a Blade stan these days. The more I've thought about it over the past month. But you think about all the players that he's worked with over the years, and like he's underrated in terms of talent development and an eye for talent and picking out the talent and young players. He's had his hands in a lot of the stars coming out of the CIS region for the entirety of CSGO.
Definitely, yeah, definitely a history that's probably worth, I don't know, making a little bit more out of. Some content one day.
Imagine selling Monoseed for a high sum over to G2 and then finding Hetrick and being like, yeah, we'll just build up another one.
Do it again.
Rinse and repeat.
6-2 the scoreline as we head into the 9th round. And it looks like Complexity want to try and clear out long, possibly with a run boost. Oh, right on top. Can work, but Hetrick had his crosshair pretty much exactly where he wanted. I was worried for a second to fly over the run like the extra.
Yeah, did he fall short? Did the run boost fail, or did he choose to stop short on it? Either way, brutal start to the round for Complexity. 5-on-3 turned into a 3-on-4.
Yeah, it did seem like they were aiming a little bit further down. Maybe not. Vector, that's a decent flashbang to set it up with, but Vector just not even worried at all. Going to be bringing down Floppy regardless. JT and Grim now, 2 versus 4, and it doesn't seem like this is going to be possible at all, although with a couple of kills, might have to take that back. Great stuff into a 2-on-2 and a dangerous nade being thrown out. It lands on top of JT, but that could have got Hetrick killed as well. Molotov on top of it, it's going to at least do a little bit more damage, force him out into the AWP, and JT, he's out of the round. Now it's all on Grim here. He's done well so far. He's got 8 kills. Yeah. Definitely not. You're right. He's on the wrong side. That's a big issue, but he does get the first one there. Has to almost peek and look for where it is. Make sure. Oh, and it's one more headshot. 10 kills and a triple in the round, and Grim saving Complexity on this one.
Yeah, but he really had to take that fight. He had to make sure Bit couldn't cross over. That's not a fight that you really want to be put into a position. That was his only option once he got into the 1v1v1 still. Right through the scope. Still good shots. There's some of that crisp aim that we know Grim for. That's what made him such an exciting prospect previously. This is a great shot. An unlikely clutch to win. And you gotta say, if you're Complexity right now, one of the things that you can kind of hang your head on, Grim has actually looked pretty solid on these kind of as like the 2nd or 3rd player coming into this B bomb site. There's been 2 or 3 rounds in this game already, even in losses where he's been able to grab 2 critical kills entering into the B bomb site to allow for a plant. Here he gets those 2 and the 1v2 clutch.
They really, really badly needed that round. With the stops of what Navi were doing. That's what they fight that back from a 2-on-4, and it happens really quickly. So probably also a little bit of a momentum boost for the Complexity side. Just being like, all right, they might be Navi, and we know that they're really good, but at the same time, we can pull out some magic all on our own. Got the AWP still some money in the bank for Navi, even losing that round, so that's the other luxury, I guess, of putting some rounds together. I think they end up putting 5 in a row.
Yeah. Ooh, I like this from Fang. This is bold. He's going to get rewarded. There's the first kill on the Hetrick. Bit's got to turn around, and he's got that kill as well. Nicely done. Fang, low HP, had to just hold his ground. SDY eliminates 1. Floppy snuck in as well. So a little bit of bold, quiet, sneaking, aggressive plays from Complexity has caused some chaos in this defense, but even still, it's a 2-on-2 situation.
Yeah, they're really switching it around a lot. I don't think Navi really understand what's happening anymore. A little bit of confusion on their side, potentially. Electronic, though, in the right position, sneaking in, but he's got no cover out here. He's going to get found by Holzerk. Molotov is great, and JT, again, feeling the wrath of it, but he's going to get saved. This time, no AWP there to catch him as he runs out, and Holzerk with the final kill.
That's such a smart play from Floppy to go for that quiet yet aggressive lurk through Monster underneath the ramp towards the B bomb site right after the play that Fang makes, because he knows that's going to pull so much attention. That's definitely at least pulling the rotator, and Fang's gotten a kill, so all of a sudden you realize, you know, he's gotten 2 kills, excuse me. It's going to pull the rotator, and if you're Flop, you're like, okay, there's 1 player here at this bomb site. I'm going to sneak in, and maybe I get lucky timing, maybe I get lucky with an angle, and he finds another kill for his team. So really, really smart decision from Floppy to make a play there.
Yeah, you could really tell looking at the minimap how out of position Navi ended up being in a number of different occasions in that one round. So nice way to manipulate that defense and make sure they were just all over the place. All right. Last second conversation to get into it here. 11th round.
Navi's out of money.
Oh,
This is the final buy that they have. If Complexity can string one more together, we've got a half on our hands. This could be interesting.
Trying to get through once again. See if he can be a little bit speedy. He's tried it a number of times. And he's ended up being very patient in this position. Seems like Electronic is aware that something could be happening. Flash to come through right as the smoke was in his hands. This is a great hit. Double entry. And they even see the third player back there on SDY. So they could probably chuck a couple of nades at him to make sure he can't really re-engage in the battle that easily. Wow, that is amazing. They should be winning this round.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a save for Navi. If they don't get a kill here pretty soon, okay, this might pull them, this might keep them here a little bit longer. There are no kits on the Navi side. This would have to be fast. And I don't, oh, excuse me, there is one kit. SDY has one.
But Fang knows that there's no flank coming through at all. He's been checking that out, so yeah, they have such a good read on where the Navi players are. No point in it. Navi going to have to just escape the round. Complexity fighting back. A little bit surprising. Looked like they were going to get... We just brought it up, you know. It feels like it's slipping out of their control, but they found a little bit of grip strength once again.
Yeah, this is a cool call. I mean, nice and simple. Just to walk over to the B bomb site, let that smoke plume, and we're just going to do an execute and see what we find on the other side of it. And obviously, it's 2 entries. 5-6.
Good to see...
Yeah, you can't do that one.
Barely do the American.
But American.
Good to see Floppy finally get a little bit of a reward for having sort of fished out that angle and trying to play that position a number of times. And he looks super confident in it, even if they Molotov it out, he's going for it. So nicely done. 96 the scoreline. But to be catching up. And Navi, some saved rifles here. Head trick, so blind for a long time. I'm actually impressed he didn't panic more than that. He was like, all right, I guess I'll just wait. Eventually we'll escape. If they steal this round back, Navi, that would be really heartbreaking for Complexity because they have them in a really tight spot.
I think this is one of those rounds where you just tell Head Trick with the AWP, like, you know, you got a little bit of more freedom here. Obviously going for an aggressive peek down the stairs. Now he's got to rotate over towards the B bomb site, which is exactly where Complexity is heading. You've got Perfecto, excuse me, you got Bit on the other side of the map starting to clear out bathrooms as well. So he's calling out that there's no presence here, which is why the Opera Head Trick feels comfortable rotating over, and it's a stack.
It's a huge stack, a lot of pistols and an M4 as well. It's going to work out so well. Perfecto on the double. Holzerk and Fang, they left outside of the B bomb site. That's unfortunate. They had a lot of time, Complexity. They got really deep in the tunnel. They must have felt like one good flash around the corner, and that's all we need. Down to 40 seconds, and they already won a single 2-on-4 earlier in this half. Doing it again seems like it's a little bit too much to ask for.
Yeah, probably not likely. A trick with the angle towards sandbags. Oh, that's a fast flick over. Not accurate, doesn't land. Holzerk gets dropped, and they know exactly where Fang is. So this round is definitely over now. 1 kill for Fang. That's not bad. 1v3, but you only got 18 seconds on the clock. Oh, okay. Another headshot.
What an angle to take a fight at. 10 seconds though, and the bomb is down there. You can see Perfecto's really playing with him. Fangs can get one more kill, but he's just so far out of time. 5 seconds. He can go straight for it, but oh, he's ready for it. He actually could have won the round. That's spectacular from Fang. What a great round.
Yeah, I'll eat my words there. I thought that was over 20 seconds before that occurred. What a cool sequence from Fang. Even the heads up. He knows what's coming next. He knows exactly what the plan is to stop that plan with only 5 seconds remaining. Very few bullets in the chamber. Difficult shot to hit, but what an inspiring attempt at the clutch.
I think especially the second one.
He wanted it so bad.
I mean, he had it all figured out. That shows some really cool game sense. I like it. 13th round though. Navi do steal it back with a nice stack and some saved weapons. They get to fight another day. Bit out here throwing some bullets over top of the smoke, but they're coming right through. Double peek in, and it's a good job for Head Trick to at least revenge that kill. Otherwise, it would have been a perfect opening for Complexity.
Yeah, Navi's got to be a little bit careful. Complexity starting to really kind of disrespect the smokes and some of the utility that Navi's finding, and they're really going for some tricky timings in their first moves. Bit cut off, but Head Trick there to find the 1-for-1. Now he's going to get aggressive on highway. He's got Grim right behind the wall.
So scary when you're on your own out here with the AWP. Not a lot has to go wrong before there's no way out. Smoke will allow him to slowly crawl back into it. Nice headshot. Something young coming up with a kill.
Now, there's no presence over at the B bomb site, which there's been frequently throughout this half. You've seen Floppy over towards Sandbags at that corner. You've seen players kind of challenging and spamming through Monster with no utility and no presence outside B. Navi's actually been able to have the read to have 3 players at this A bomb site for some time now. They're prepared for what Complexity's coming with.
Tiny little peek, you're absolutely right. They have a really good understanding of what's coming up. 30 seconds now, a little bit close. Oh, I can't believe that's a headshot. JT able to pick one of them up. Electronic traded as well. JT, 20 seconds, running up the stairs in front of Perfecto and certainly being heard by JT. He swings for it and an instant headshot. What a beautiful round. I can't believe they recovered this one either.
Yeah, this is a huge clutch. Another one to keep Complexity alive into this. Perfecto's going to want that jump back for sure. That jump up onto the garbage can, that's going to be something he wish he had back. Good trades coming into the site. I think the real loss here for Navi is both the players inside the bomb site. There's the miscue of the round. Both of them playing behind dice boxes. Yeah. Neither with any real place to go. We saw previously early on in the half, clean A defense with multiple crossfire set up. One at dice, one at truck, one at bank. They couldn't pull it off this time.
And it must also feel a little bit weird for Navi because I think they actually peek right on top of the flashbang, and then one of them at least just walks into a bullet, and you must feel like, well, we knew where they were. We were actually interrupting their, attempt at taking the bomb site, and somehow we still lost. So it's kind of hard to explain too. But what a great find from Lexley, really coming up with some. They're on the T side. The fact that they're actually doing this well makes this way more interesting.
Yeah, this game, this map just got very, very spicy. Could be looking at an early upset. 7-6, 1-round lead. It's been 4 the last 5 for Complexity.
And if it is, I mean, it's not an upset we could lay at the feet of Patrick. He's got 14-6. He's done a great job. But obviously Navi as a whole, like we said, structurally are going to be functioning differently no matter what. And Complexity, I think, just also playing maybe better than I was expecting.
Sure. I'll allow it. I mean, Fang and Grim are both having great games, and I mean, every game that Complexity comes into, those two guys are going to be win conditions. Those two guys particularly are kind of like the young potential in North America. Floppy, I think, has already established himself enough to be considered, a solid force to be reckoned with.
I think that's my problem. I keep forgetting how good Fang is.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like
a lot of people did. He was on the rise before he joined Complexity. His kind of time in this organization has been really rough, and probably not a good testament to what he's capable of.
Confidence. He's so ready to take these fights. Gotta be a little bit careful. 9 bullets left, down to 6 here. Still hasn't reloaded, but they've taken the bomb site in great fashion. He swings so wide that it's really hard for anyone on the Navi side to stop them from coming out of the restrooms. The rest of the team, they're going to be joining from that side, and it all works out great. Navi are going to have to save the rest of this round, and they're tying up the scoreline. It's 7-7 leading into the 15th round. I think for me, Grim, obviously, because of his time in Liquid, that's a lot of exposure, so everyone kind of knows his name. And then Floppy, obviously, as like I think an up-and-coming star for a long time.
Was in Cloud9 as well?
Yeah, Cloud9. We know how good Floppy can be, right? So maybe those are the two people for me that end up always overshadowing Fang whenever I think about it. But you see it right here. He's got an enormous amount of confidence, and I mean, he basically almost won that 1-3 earlier, which. And even if he lost it, you still have to sort of nod your head and say, well, he knew everything.
Well, I mean, even the consequences of losing, I think it was a 1v4 to start, and he gets 3 kills. Oh, yeah. I mean, just even the consequences of taking that many weapons away, and now you start to see Navi having money issues the last 2-3 rounds of this half, and it's like, okay, even in a loss, look at what Fang has been able to deliver. It's just a weakened CT side economy that they can expose towards the later stages of the half. What a great run Complexity is putting together. I think this is, what, 5 of the last 6 now?
Yeah.
Super impressive.
I actually think this is great. It's good sometimes to be surprised. Sometimes when we do these pick-ems at the start of the day, or if you end up doing it over a Blaster team, which you should, you can win random things over there. You can win Lego shit, I think. I don't know if you care about this, Jason, but...
I love Legos.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Like a giant super tanker. But yeah, so yeah, if you do that, I look at a match like this and you think, what does this mean? Like, of course I know Navi are going to win this, and everyone else apparently did too, but then get these kind of shocking situations, that's more enjoyable, I feel like. I'd rather watch this than Navi crushing them, 16-4, and you're like, all right,
sure,
it's good.
Yeah, a couple nice clutches in there. Yeah, good look at Complexity.
It's good stuff. Perfecto almost catching up to Hetrick, 13 and 15 kills respectively. They've actually been doing pretty good, all right. It's not that bad for the rest of them, but...
I'm just imagining Jason Lake back in Dallas right now at the offices, watching on the big screen, big bowl of biscuits and gravy in front of him, some good southern comfort food.
Cigar.
Enjoying his morning. Yeah, sure, just like a 8 a.m. cigar. Nothing hits quite like it.
Cigar? Some bourbon? I don't know how this works.
I'm in.
He's in Texas, though. That's how it is. Perfecto. Flash again. He sees it coming, though. That's a nice little turnaround. A lot of damage and a team kill in the middle of all the confusion. Not quite enough for the kill there on Grim, but it is close and head trick. Quick flank coming through and opening that door to take down JT. SDY, he's ready for the battle, but he's got to be careful. This SMG is not that much stopping power, but the flash, I don't know if that might have been a friendly flash. I'm not even sure. Fang is going to eventually get the kill, and it's another flank to come on top. 1 versus 1, and Bit, the SMG, probably has the advantage here. Fang, he's been so good. He needs the instant headshot right here. He's already in danger. Flash around the corner, and Bit just looking for another couple of bullets, and he'll win this round, and at least he'll get the last one. But it's Fang again! This time, a headshot to bring down Bit, and they'll come up with the lead instead. Oh, wow. This is going to be such a huge first half for him.
Yeah, 3 big clutches for Complexity in this first half. That's absolutely massive. 8-7 lead, upset on the cards. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon.
Go B.
20 seconds.
Oh, I have the bomb. Oh, you have to run.
Let's kill him.
Kill him, guys. Do we have time?
Kill him. No, I don't have time. Just try to kill him, though.
We're coming. I'm clearing B.
Coming tunnels.
Tunnels, I think. T-spawn, I think.
Yeah,
I'll tap B.
Just scout him.
Thanks, God. It's okay. It doesn't matter. We win the round.
Ready? Eyes.
I will be able to use the follow.
Smoke. Mid.
Maybe we should leave. Window.
Window, understand.
That B.
That B1. Just go mid B.
Go mid.
That B is
That B1 more. That mid, one more mid.
Last mid. AK window.
Let's go!
Nothing.
That's B.
Wait. Let's go close.
Mid, push. I'm big second mid. Could be here. Second mid. Pushing.
Where?
Boiler. Abs and second mid.
Come.
One more here.
Slow. We're back now.
Abs on. Abs and second mid. Up. Banana.
You left short. You left deep.
Can be boiler.
Very low. I have
Still follow. I can still do abs.
One more mid.
One second mid. The far back. He's very mid.
Boiler. Good be. It was low corner check.
I'm adventuring. Yeah. I left after me. Like pulse. Thinking on me.
Want to go long?
Mid. Boiler.
Okay, nice.
Good job.
Sandwich.
What is city?
First.
I'm okay.
Can I put this stuff down?
Let's pick stuff together, guys. You ready?
Wait. Ready?
Go. 3, 2, 1.
One more stairs.
Dead.
No shooting on.
We have city.
Get around. I'm only run behind. Yeah, should be one
Dead. I'm pushing city.
Open jungle.
Nice, guys.
I took off. Don't take off, mother. Okay, take it.
Хэт-трик.
Here we go. We're back once again. Second half is coming. It is a best of 1, so the fact that Complexity somehow get out with 8 rounds in their opening half, in part, large part due to Fang and his tricks.
Yeah, a 1v2 from Grim, a 1v1 from JT, a 1v1 from Fang, almost a 1v4 from Fang. They got the benefit of a lot of clutches in that first half. We'll see if Navi can reverse the fortunes here. They did win the pistol round in the first half, but I mean, certainly just from a very general perspective, you'd say 8 rounds on your T side, switching over to quote-unquote the easier side of Overpass. It has complexity in the driver's seat at the moment, which was not on a lot of people's bingo cards today.
Wasn't we like a good upset to spice things up a little bit?
And a good game of bingo.
Spend your time on that a lot. We should have more Counter-Strike bingo.
Sure.
A little bit of cross. Collateral damage, I believe. Bit ran right into that, and it's another headshot. In a row for Holzer, showing his skill. We talked about it earlier. Didn't get to see too much of it in the first half, but that is a way to get started. Now, the ace is quite far away. Are they going to send him running? Maybe send some people scouting? Just SDY left, but that second kill is hilarious.
Yeah, that really was. Just clotheslines and walk right into it. We love those kills with the USP. I think Navi's going to need someone like Bit to step up and provide some energy. I think Electronic is probably going to start having, you know, he's been phenomenal individually since he swapped in-game leader, but I think you're putting a lot on his plate now as a new in-game. We have to remember this is very recent. So you have SDY still getting acclimated. You have a stand-in as well. You don't have his normal you don't have his normal kind of star player of Simple there that you don't really have to think about too much during the games. Electronic's got a lot on his plate trying to make this all work. So I think I got to look towards Bit in this half to provide something to get some energy in this team, because this Navi squad, while it started out in the first half clinical, efficient, just standard, you know, fundamental Counter-Strike, now it feels flat. Now it feels like there's not a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of power coming out of this Navi side, so someone's going to have to wake him up in the second half.
And I mean, what that's interesting to think about, because that is one of the things that we know Simple really brings to the team sometimes. Sometimes he will just win an odd 1 versus 3, you know.
For no reason, yeah.
Yeah, for no reason, even though he shouldn't. And that's obviously... That's a luxury. If you play long enough with Simple, maybe you don't even think about it.
It's like a handicap, right? You don't even realize you have it.
Yeah, you just only when he's gone you realize, oh wait a minute, this is actually, we're not winning those rounds.
And remember too, like he's part of his progression these past like years, a year or two, he's become a much more vocal leadership figure within the team as well. Like you see him constantly talking to teammates during timeouts and constantly making sure people are engaged. And yeah, that's a big factor to be missing right now.
We always talk about Navi having such a deep, you know, talent pool, and they do. So maybe someone else is going to be getting out from under. I mean, for a long time, people have thought about this. You know, what if Bit just becomes straight up the competition within the team to try and get there? Now is his chance to try and show, yeah, you know, even if Simple's not here, I'm going to be putting up the numbers. And so far, he's still on track. I mean, he could still have a great map. So we'll see. Pistols, Deagles this time instead of the 5.7s.
There's no numbers that are really frightening if you look down like the Navi scoreboard. It's just like the impact felt of some of those kills isn't as high as you'd like it to be, and obviously that'll happen losing 3 clutches in the first half.
Sure.
So this second half is all about recovery. Deagles on the board for Navi. No utility, so it's going to be slow paced and. Give these Deagles a lot of time to find some defender making a mistake, making some over-aggression, whatever it might be. There was the first opportunity. Second one coming up shortly. Bit goes down.
Good bit of cleanup here, just especially with the SMGs. Ooh. He had the idea. Trick defending whatever is left of the pizza. But,
leftover pizza is an amazing thing. It's S tier.
How do you reheat it? Oven or microwave?
I don't reheat leftover pizza. You eat that shit cold.
Uncultured savage. That's so definitely the wrong answer.
A little bit of Parmesan, a little bit of crushed red pepper. Call it a day. Here we go. Floppy's got a chance. Electronic goes down. 2 more to find. Good flashbang from Holzer. He was very Johnny on the spot with that one. 3 quick kills and Complexity still winning.
And stayed alive at the end even after the accidental unscrewing of the silencer. There's got to be a way to stop that from happening.
To unbind it when you have the M4?
Yeah, like in your config, like it just knows that just unbinds the secondary fire when you pull. I don't know. It's crazy.
There's got to be a way.
How many rounds have been lost? Do we have the statistics? Like how many 1v1s have been lost to that? Or the jumping. Scroll.
Or inspecting weapons.
Got some culprits here. 3-round lead for the Complexity side. Navi back with rifles, and we've painted a lot of different ways that maybe Navi could, you know, players that could bring them back in. Now, kind of time for them to show us exactly how this is going to work out. Fang, they're up close against the M4, and he's going to get traded. Grim will get one of them there, but almost JT not getting back around the corner. So 1-for-1 trade and about even damage there between JT and Perfecto. So they slow it down, Navi, with plenty of time on the clock.
Where's the next move going to be made? Very quiet across the map. Holzerk and Grim over at A. Relatively aggressive defense as Grim is just keeping an eye on long, but he's in a position to turn and help out Holzerk whenever it's needed. JT and Floppy over towards the B bomb site. Navi's gone completely silent.
Holzerk's going to go investigate. This is always risky, but it's such a cool idea if you don't know what's happening across the map to actually find out on the CT side. And they get the trade on Grim once again, so backfires a little bit with Holzerk. Oh, he just makes a huge assumption.
No, it's because with the utilities being spent, that's a little bit of a fake thrown in there from Complexity. Smokes and utility being thrown towards the B bomb site, and Grim felt like he had to bail out to get a jump on a rotation. I think he just gets punished. Headtrick obviously knew the whole time he'd been dinked he was low HP, and Complexity's not going for it.
Would you say that's an excusable thing to make a run for, or is it, are they a little bit jumpy? Is that like the pressure getting to them, or do you think it's just like, you know, you could also say that if he doesn't run quick and it actually is an execution, well then he's late, you know? So
yeah, I mean, I think that's a decision. I mean, that kind of a criticism would certainly be made in hindsight. I think his full-blown knife out, forget about the rest of the map kind of evacuation might be a little bit much, but
I prefer to make the criticism in hindsight. That way I know I'm right.
That way you know all the answers.
Yeah. It's way better. It's like taking the exam with cheat sheet. But
yeah,
great.
Do some of that too? Is that what you're advocating out to the world?
So given the half my educational, if I did, people shouldn't follow it. But I'm not admitting to anything on being recorded. So.
I wonder what it's
Not
like
without a lawyer present.
I wonder what it's like for Hetrick to look down at this entire packet of notes and be like, oh god.
Yeah, speaking of which, taking somebody else's notes on exam and you're like, I don't know what any of this is.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Round number 19, and Bit hanging around out by the playground. Going to be almost fighting two people here, but he actually wants to stick a little bit further back. That's interesting. Pushing through the smoke now. He does sense that something is up out there. Doesn't really know what it is yet.
He's taken the peek through the smoke a couple of times, and he always missed the timing on finding JT's aggression. So JT at the moment, a snake in the grass. Bit might be very cautious out towards long. He'll never expect JT to be up in playground already. This should be at least one freebie kill. And if there's some trigger discipline, JT could have more.
Oh, what a nice shot. Holzerk back with it, and there's the discipline, there's the patience you were talking about. Gets the kill on Electronic, and that should dissolve the round here for Navi. 2 versus 4.
What a disgusting sequence for the Deagle from Holzer. 2 quick kills, top stairs, makes things real easy for JT. I don't really know what you have left of your Hetrick and SDY. Go through Monster quietly, no utility. You know Navi have the information, you know they have control of the map. And you gotta know this is gonna be a tough fight you're wandering into.
Yeah, just walk in on contact and just hope to get the first headshot, make it a 2-on-3, and then just roll with it from there on out. But it feels very, very unlikely. And they have such a good understanding here. Floppy to take down SDY, and Hetrick 1 versus 4, flashed out and eventually taken down by Grim.
He's happy to have Holzer in there after that round. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, I don't know if there were many other choices, but I love the idea of getting it takes a bullet here, a couple of bullets here, so 4 left, and he's like, I'm not reloading. I'm ready. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to be prepared for that fight. If you reload, you're absolutely dead. If you at least take the risk. Navi's getting swept aside. They have no answers at the moment. 3rd timeout used.
Now we can start to feel a bit worried, but in the opposite direction. What an interesting day, or an interesting way to get started. Obviously, a little bit later on today, what have we got? G2 versus Liquid?
Yeah, which is another really spicy. That's the next matchup. That's going to be coming quick after this one finishes, and that's one you don't want to go anywhere for.
Let's go.
Whenever that happens, I keep thinking of, do you remember the Prince of Persia game, like the old platform 2D ones.
Okay, yeah.
When you jump into like, they have like these glass sheets that like cut you up into.
Okay.
That's what I keep thinking of.
All right, that's a weird thing to have triggered in your brain.
Yeah. What an annoying game to play. Waste 100 hours of your life.
No, 100 hours of your life. I've never played it.
Well, there's always time, Jason.
There's always time.
3-round gap. It's not that much, but energy you were talking about from Navi, it's kind of not there.
Very much.
No, it's not. It feels very, very subdued, and that was one of the points. I mean, there's so much conversation, obviously, around Simple missing this with his play with the AWP, but I think in the other sense, that emotional and vocal energy that it provides is one thing that feels like they're missing the most in this game, because you actually have, as you mentioned earlier, Hetrick with the off performing very, very well. 18 kills for him as stand-in, leading the way for Navi.
Yeah, and that's great. But we don't have the same fear on the complexity side that maybe we normally see. They feel like they're ready to take it. I mean, Fang was showing so much confidence in the first half, and in the second half, now that they've got the lead, I mean, it's surely just building round for round. Look at how far outside of the B bomb site they are. Far enough that they can have 3 people in A at the moment, and probably a really quick rotation. So should be a good round here for complexity. A little bit of an unfortunate timing, but they're able to clean it up without a single casualty on the complexity side.
Holzerk was like, oh man, these are ego kills coming in. I don't want to sit here and watch long. I want to turn the corner and spray down 3.
That's it.
4-round lead, 12-8. Not a whole lot of time for Navi to get back in this game. 1 round so far in the second half on offense. They need answers. They need them right now.
You know what they're really missing on this complexity side?
What's that?
Crash talk.
Fang got some at the end when he won that clutch.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, he got in there a bit. Well, you know, funnily enough, they've kind of been trash talking in a way. They're probably one of the best teams to find a headline, at least the previous roster. You know, between Grim saying, you know, all the pressure's on our opponents because who the hell wants to lose the complexity? That's one version of trash talk.
Incredibly.
It's not the best version of trash talk.
I like it. I like it. It's an opportunity, you know. Maybe that's something they can warm up into if they win this game. Which currently they're 4 rounds away from doing, so moving in the right direction. That's a cool move once again. Put some pressure on Navi.
That's a less cool move. Losing track of where your teammate is and shooting Fang in the side of the hit. Hetrick's found an opening pick. Navi needs this round. Fang is still being aggressive. He's still being proactive on the map. And he's put in a position where he can hear a lot of information. He can have a fast flank in a number of different ways, but he can just be patient. There's a lot of things you can gather from the spot.
Possibly just trying to get away from JT at this point in time.
Oh,
I can't believe Perfecto gets the snapback. It looked like he was already looking the wrong way. JT, a lot of range here for the M4, but he's going to get traded. And this is still working out great for Navi. 2 versus 4 at the moment. 35 seconds. That's maybe the only downside is the time that's left here. Grim does have a Molotov, so the bomb making its way. If everything goes wrong for Navi, that's maybe the only way they could lose this one. Time and a Molotov.
Well, Electronics is making his play through Monster right now, but I don't think there's enough time for them, or not Electronics, excuse me. That's SDY, but I don't think there's enough time to really take advantage of it now that he's seeing that it's clear they still have to move forward. So yeah, this is awkward. It's instead of a 4-on-2, it's actually a 3-on-2 at this bomb site. Oh, there goes Grim. They needed a clean entrance, and Bit delivers.
That is such a disgusting opening. Floppy tries to fight it back, but it's a 1 versus 3, and he's going to get found at the end. But again, imagine a world in which 1 Bit maybe doesn't get that entry, but also if he actually throws down the Molotov in front, they would have to really struggle to try and even find the bomb plant. That's way closer than it should have been. Yeah,
to find safety for the bomb plant. And even that was the head scratcher for me, was SDY making that kind of information play towards the B bomb site with like 18 seconds left. You can't rotate the bomb back in that kind of time, and the flank is not going to be there in time to have impact. So SDY kind of took himself out of that round, and Navi still thankfully finds a clean entrance to get the win.
And you know, honestly, Perfecto probably should have been dead down in that connector. That's such an odd position for Fang to be in to begin with.
Yeah, it's almost like there's a little bit of like a, I don't know. I don't even know what to call it, but like you just, like Fang probably felt so confident in that corner that no one was going to check it at that stage in the round that he just kind of fell asleep at the wheel, you know? You're just like, there's no way I'm losing.
Yeah.
In his head, he's like, there's a 0% chance that I get checked.
It's almost certainly a German word that sums up everything you just said. Like,
probably. The Germans would have a word for that.
There we go. get someone to help us out. 3-round difference once again. Navi able to pick it up, deep nade here. Money is pretty much gone for the complexity side, so if they want a chance at keeping Navi at a distance here and make sure the gap doesn't close maybe too quickly, then this is going to be a really pivotal round. I still love the aggression. JT all the way out there, outside of the B-bomb side. Very flexible. If anything fast happens on the A-bomb side, he could be there so quick. So he's not really sure yet if anyone's actually in connector, but he's going to find out. Also sneaking up, but the timing is so ridiculous. He almost spotted him, but now he's actually in a lot of danger. There's nobody next to him. Both his teammates are long right now, so he's just playing this really with no help, and he can't start to scope around now. It'll give away the entire game, so goes back up, still scope. I don't think they know that he's there either, so just a question of timing and electronic. He's not going to be quick enough for it. Also, he gets the kill that he needed and is immediately traded.
Yeah, but now Fang gets to move forward. Now he gets to make his play, and this is a little bit of a double flank. Even if Fang goes down, Grim is going to be here. Oh, they spot one. That's the bomb. They got to come back for Fang. He's got another, and they still don't know about Grim. He'll find head trick as he wraps around, and this is perfect for complexity. 13-9, and yeah, Fang almost can't believe it. I don't know. That's just basic excitement, and yeah.
I love it. I love the energy and also the mirror on the Navi side, like the frustration.
Yeah,
come on.
I was gonna say the contrast of different things, and I think electronic maybe individually frustrated, perhaps leaking into the team as well. A little bit of his perspective on how things are working. Again, he's got a lot of moving parts right now, Navi, with all the different stand-in situations they have going on, and it's got to be tough to keep control of everything at the moment.
And the fact that you're running out of cash doesn't really typically help either. Some deagles being picked up, but that's about it.
Зачем глаз себе чешешь? Что мама
High chance right now. The complexity will end up at 14.
Это же глаз.
And this push from JT, the different varieties, but I mean, if Navi realized, maybe that's something they could try and exploit a little bit. They're right, going to be dead aggressive outside of the B-bomb side. Maybe eventually we're going to try and come snatch you up out there.
Какой-то осуд.
And deep in T-spot, Lobby is on a mission. Yeah, not that it's probably needed in this particular round. They're probably going to be fine either way. But the complexity are getting a lot of damage. Even in the rival ranks. Oh, knife is out. I'm gonna say that could have actually been a little bit scary.
I mean, look at all the confidence complexity he's playing with. Like these, we saw JT doing some pushes earlier. We saw Fang doing some pushes earlier. Now we've got Floppy pushing up as well. They're feeling very comfortable with a double push in the bathrooms in the previous round. Complexity has no issue working up the courage to move across the map on this CT side.
25 seconds. Surely at this point you just try to run so that you can be sure to die. You could maybe get a bomb plant if things go really crazy. 18 seconds here. And Trick, he's been found out as well. Flawless round for the complexity side. And they get to 14. This is crazy.
Yeah, I think this is where you really feel like Navi just a little bit lost in the moment. Not a whole lot of initiative being taken across the map. Not a whole lot of ideas coming out from any of these players. This feels like a very passive, calm T side so far.
Change that pretty much instantly. 19 kills on Fang. Blocky and Grim right there with him. Polsog not that far behind either. They're putting up great numbers. And it started to show. Polsog, he was so flashed, and he still got the kill. JT did to follow it up, but that is, again, tripling down on the aggression here on the CT side for complexity. Another flash to set it up, and at least they turned the corner without dying, but they don't quite get the kill on him. Yeah, but I like that Navi's really challenging and even coming back for a challenge after the initial kill as well. The flashbang and just say, all right, if you're going to be aggressive, at least we know where you are. Let's go chase after it. So good damage done to Halzork and Grim in a 4v4. They've gained some piece of map control. SDY's turn to beat the smoke, but he chooses to call it off right at the end. And to be fair, from Navi's point of view, a lot of the time when there has been aggression, it's just been JT on his own.
This is where I'm curious what Navi's going to be doing. This is what's kind of made me a little uneasy throughout this half is where's the play being made? Where's the pressure being applied? Everyone is just kind of paused at the moment and not really moving forward. Bit is looking for this aggression and the timing is everything.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. A little bit of a flash to draw some attention away. There's nobody up here. Bit is really on his own, so snuff point foul might be hard to find at this point in time. And oh, that is an angle to get. Did get tagged himself, so also managed to let a bullet out, but should be dead. Is the bomb, though, still headed towards the B-bomb site. So Fang is going to look and say, well, there's no one here, and it's all going to be at the B-bomb site. 20 seconds left. Floppy is here close. Grim not that far behind either. They're going to get some good damage in. Headshot as he falls back down the ramp. Floppy doing it all on his own. Didn't even need the backup. Finally, Grim showing the board. Complexity looking great.
Yeah, there's the shit talk you wanted. There he is getting a little bit loud in the room.
I like it.
Yeah, all smiles on Complexity. They have not had a whole lot to smile about these past few months, so this is a cool win from them so far. They've got a lot of opportunities to close this map. 6 chances now to take their first victory at Blast Premier.
Yeah, and against the Navi team without Simple.
Not really smack talking yet. He's more hyping up the team at the moment. He hasn't gotten to the aggressive, put down the opposition phase of his career.
He's getting it. He's still young.
Yeah, he'll learn.
It'll happen. He's upgraded from the nice. Ooh, Sunda Young getting a kill on JT. Down to Galil's here on the T side, trying to roll any kind of momentum they can forward here. Does take a lot of damage though. But it's true, I mean, you mentioned in the last round how Navi for a long time just there's a lot of slowing down with no even map control getting gained, right? Just kind of hoping to find someone wandering into a crosshair. You can see that change just a little bit. This time they're all grouped up at the restrooms. Got Fang up close with Holzerk behind on that AWP, so could be a strong 1-2 punch. Could also be interrupted if pressure comes in from long. Fang might be on his own if Holzerk has to switch out and start to look that way. Well, they know. Look at this. Bringing in Grim.
Yeah, this is perfect. What a great setup. Holzerk can take contact. Fang's in a tough position. Does he get cleared? Oh, Grim. Double kill from him. Sets up Fang. Sets up Holzerk. And 16-9. Complexity have done it. An upset on map number 1 for Complexity over Navi.
That's going to be an amazing feeling. Not something that I was expecting. It looked like no one really was today. So that's an interesting way to get this day 2 started. And how far can they go with it? It's a big question now.
Yeah, set the tone. How far can they go with it? And then how far can Navi go? Because there's obviously some things that they need to talk about and discuss and reset and figure out for the future of how this lineup is going to be competing in this group. But literally everyone in Complexity just feeling probably like they won the major at the moment.
Yeah, good stuff. That's unexpected.
That Dallas Star looks good in victory.
It does. Makes a difference.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm pleased. Fang was playing, you know, it's about as good as I remember when I actually do remember it.
Yeah, Fang had a great game. Grim had a great game. Holzerk had a great game as well. Those 3 players were fantastic in Complexity take that win. We're going to get James Banks to have a conversation and see what all the jubilation is down there.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I've got a very excited Fang next to me. It's been a long time since you guys beat a team over here, right? How does this one feel?
Oh, it feels crazy. I mean, I'm honestly lost for words right now. I mean, obviously not being simple, but at the end of the day,
Подожди, не спеши. Тут тип есть.
For us, it's been, you know, a tough first half game. It's just super nice, you know, actually get a win, play some cohesion, and just show that, you know, we're here to play.
Now, what was the turning point, right? Because they were down 6-2, then you end up winning the half 8-7, right? You guys looking really good. But it felt to me like you guys were playing with super confidence, just like disrespecting, like...
Серьезно?
They didn't really stand
Так, это Вин, чат, раздал.
I don't know, I kind of made a mid-round adjustment.
Раздал, пацаны. Так, сейчас открою наклеечки, конечно. Здорово всем, здорово, пацаны, кто залетел. Бля, я не знаю, пацаны, как мы сейчас забрали, братва, если честно. Напоминаю, что нам осталось, пацаны, буквально 90 онлика, и я вам открываю тычки за 1 балл. Пацаны, зовите друзей на стримчик, кидайте ссылочку друзьям, пускай пацаны залетают. Осталось, пацаны, чуть-чуть. Буквально, пацаны, 90 онлика, я вам открываю тычки за 1 балл. Кто-то сегодня, пацаны, 5 поднимет просто так. Очередная десятка повержена. Где спасибо за буст? Конечно, братух, конечно. Конечно, братик, конечно. Здорово всем, здорово, пацаны. Жнёк, а что мне капучино? Сегодня, братик, отправлю. Сегодня отправлю капучинка. Здорово всем, здорово, братва. Так, секу, пацаны. Все, братва, я тут. Короче, пацаны, расклад такой, братва. В группе ВК 2 розыгрыша сейчас проходит для вас. Это первое. Сегодня 700 онлика делаем, нам осталось 90 онлика, и я вам открываю тычки за 1 балл. Зовите друзей на стримчик, пацаны, потому что чем больше онлайна, тем больше, пацаны, мега заносов для вас. Я так понимаю, нави слили, да? Не, красава, не по слугам, красава. Я же сказал, красава. Молодец. Ну у тебя просто не по слугам игра жизни была. Вот. Здорово всем, здорово, чатик, кто залетел. А чё, нави слили, да, братва? Бля, ну как так можно? Ёк-макарёк. Ну нави, ну пацаны, братва. Да, комплексити забрали, да. Как говорится, пацаны, никогда не ставь против нави и никогда не ставь на нави. Вот так, пацаны.
Все, конец. К сожалению, всем пока. Но нет, я думаю, мы будем...
Гала, я не виноват. Это все слугам. Сори, братуха, ценю, люблю, уважаю тебя. Ты лучший, как бы, лучший из лучших, на самом деле. Не по заслугам. Ну, отправь там наклеечки.
Мы посмотрели, как нави поиграли. Всем удачи, всем пока. Увидимся в следующем стриме. Может, даже ролик запишу. Всем удачи, всем пока-пока. С вами был Аббо. И забыл еще кое-что. Чуть-чуть песенки такие. На фоне, чтобы это был точно конец.
А я вижу, ты не подписан. Что? На канал. Ну да. Просто спустись, там кнопка красная. Ты подпишись на мой канал. Сделай это сам. Сделай кнопку серой, просто тыкнув на экран. Подпишись на мой канал. Сделай это. А я вижу.
Всем спасибо. Всем пока-пока.